think if a professor walked in on a conversation with my friends about comments, they would probably be really stunned as to how much we were analyzing them and taking them to heart. I don't know if professors realize how much, we look at papers.
Students want to know that their work is appreciated. They want to know that all the time that they've taken to write a paper is being read and being absorbed by someone.
Well, when you put a lot of hard work into a paper and you take all that time and all that effort and all that studying,
and you hand in that paper and you're all excited, you're like, I did my best, I did my best.
When you get that paper back, I mean, at first, obviously, you're a little nervous, as how is this going to have been received?
Sometimes you get a paper and there's a whole bunch of corrections.
The first feeling when getting a marked up paper back is embarrassment.
The feeling is like, wow, I didn't do good.
To see a discouraging comment on a paper makes a student not want to write it again.
A teacher wrote bad on top of one of my sentences, and I didn't know what that meant. What's bad mean?
When I get back a paper that is just words crossed out, it feels absolutely terrible. Are you just checking for grammar? Did you see the thought that I put behind this? I think I'd question them a lot.
Fixing is not learning.
Is the sentence structure bad? Is the idea bad?
Good is an incomplete thought. This works as an incomplete thought. This is wrong is an incomplete thought. For it to be a complete thought, it needs to sort of answer at least some of the famous, 5 W's and the H questions. Why? How? Where?
And oftentimes they read color, right? Which automatically jumps to your attention, right? That the color red is like something powerful. And most of the times, I'm not gonna say every teacher, but sometimes you can't understand. It's a whole bunch of corrections and they small oftentimes.
Trying to decipher the words usually causes more problems than anything else in class.
It's like almost another class in itself trying to decipher different professors' comments and marks.
It's difficult because you're kind of trying to pull it up close and bring it back and pass it around. It's like, do you know what that says?
9 times out of 10, what you interpret as the words are not the actual words. So you misunderstand the point. In the long run, it may hurt you, especially as a student, because that may be a tip that you need to know for a future paper.
So a lot of putting it down sometimes can make the person give up.
You put so much of yourself into your work, and to have someone tell you that it's fake or you don't have any idea what you're talking about, it hurts. It's like getting your heart broken for the first time. It's painful.
Teachers have to realize that especially the first paper when you're going in is really hard because students are very fragile. They come from all different backgrounds, especially at a place like Bunker Hill. And I think they have to be very careful of what they write, especially on that first feedback in that first paper.
If you take something away from a student who isn't a very strong writer, it doesn't leave them with very much. It doesn't leave them with any confidence or in their abilities to go on to another level.
Most students, they have a choice to be in college. If they're here, they want to know that they're here for a reason. And the way most students know that is by having their work read word for word, line for line by a professor who takes the time to write a mini letter to the student. They direct it to you by name. Hannah, I loved your work. You have a great grasp of the literature, the topic, the idea of the paper.
and then you get such a wonderful comment like that. It's almost like a gift. You can actually feel it in your heart.
And it encourages you to continue to use your own voice instead of trying to use a voice that's not yours.
But it's a balance. You need to know some mistakes, and you need to know some good comments, so that can move you, and you can keep on going. Keep trying.
You need to have a certain amount of sweet and a certain amount of sour. The whole sweet and sour approach, which I think is a good way to describe it. And even though you're correcting the student, you're still giving them encouragement.
And you just need that encouragement, because sometimes it gets really hard, and sometimes you don't know if you can do it. That's why I think encouragement is important, because it gives you the push and it gives you the drive and the motivation.
A good comment says, keep going. You can reach, and it's in your grasp, and you can get there. You can be the writer you want to be.
You know, you write a paper, maybe 3 or 4 papers in a semester, and when you get that encouraging paper back, it's like the sun is shining all day long, even if it's pouring rain outside.
So less is more, right? Little comments here and there, and make them think about what you wrote. You start creating that early improvisation in them.
It's so nice to think that a professor is thinking about how you are becoming a better writer and that your paper is developing, and that's just, it's a great feeling.
And it makes me feel better all around, not just about my writing, but better as a person, that I'm starting to understand things better, not just in school, but in life as well.
If I could give teachers any advice to write better comments, I would say that they should give more positive comments before they give negative, the sweet before the sour. You need to give students something before you pull out the rug from under them and take it away.
I would suggest just to suggest. Suggestion doesn't shoot a student down. It gives them options and choices, and I think that's what makes students safe, is when they are able to have some control over the things that they're doing in their lives.
Begin conversations, don't end them. Provoke, one way or another. Provoke your students with your comments. Make them react in some way that involves thinking.
When you get comments back that make you feel like you can do it, it's great, because it's like, oh, all right, so that's not that hard. I can do this, and you know what, the next one's even going to be better, which is, you know, it makes you keep going.
On the first day of class, a teacher should say, commenting on papers is to help you learn, to help you improve your writing. That's why I comment. This is how I comment. Welcome to class.